Good morning, my dear student. In the previous class, we learned about Upagupta. We discussed the first, second, and third stanzas. We have learned here, I just explained briefly. Upagupta, he was a disciple of Buddha. He was passing by the city called Mathura. He meets at night, that's why he takes rest beside the road. He didn't think it was a dusty room. He sleeps there. Then the dancing girl comes and she wakes him up, and Upagupta was shocked. And that the scene comes. It is the first stanza, second stanza, and the third stanza. Now we are going to discuss the fourth stanza from this beautiful poem. First I read. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman, graciously come to my house. The dusty earth is not fit for you. The young ascetic answered, go on your way. Here, that beautiful lady, when she comes, and she was having the gorgeous materials, the blue mantle, loose garment, and she was in the perfect profile, and she was having the lamp in her hand, and she just came to give her visit to that spot. That we have discussed in the previous stanzas. Now here, when the monk woke up, the old lady expresses her excuse. She says, forgive me, young ascetic. Ascetic means handsome or beautiful. Said the woman, graciously come to my house. Graciously. Graciously means here, look here. Graciously. The word is graciously. Graciously means kindly. Kindly. Actually, the graciously, a word which ends with ly. So it is called as adverb. So graciously, she requests him, kindly come to my house. This dusty road is not fit for you. The young ascetic answered, woman, go on your way. Means here, he refuses to get the invitation of that beautiful woman. He couldn't accept her offer, and the straightforward way he said to her that, woman, go on your way. I hope you have understood this stanza. Next stanza. When the time is ripe, I will come to you. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky, and the woman trembled in fear of some unknown danger. When the young ascetic said like this, it witnessed for a new type of experience. He says that when the time is ripe, I will come. When the time is ripe means when you feel my necessity, then I will come. He was not an ordinary person. He was having the extraordinary soul. He knew all the foreseeing of that beautiful lady. That's why he says that when the time is ripe, I will be with you. Suddenly, when he said like this, suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. Suddenly the flash of lightning took place in the darkest sky. In the meanwhile, the storm growled from the corner of the sky, and the woman trembled in fear of some unknown danger. The woman becomes unable to understand the situation, what it was happening. When the words were delivered from the monk, then some strange experience was felt by that beautiful lady. She learned that I met with something danger. Then she goes back to her home. As usual, the day comes, then the monk starts his journey. So the scene or the first phase of this poem over here. The second phase starts. So that is, a year has not yet passed. It was evening of a day in April, in spring season. The branches of the wayside trees were of blossom. Gay notes of a flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. So the poet used here, and it gives a description of the spring season, how the nature was rich with the natural beauty which places in the spring season. A year has not yet passed. It was evening of a day in April. In the spring season, the branches of a wayside trees were full of blossoms. They were colorful of the flowers. They bloomed. And the nature, the appearance was absolutely beautiful. Gay notes of a flute. Gay. Gay means here happy. Gay. Gay means happy. Happy or pleasant. The pleasant notes are joyful. Joyful notes. Notes means here. Notes. Notes means that is musical tune. The musical tune. It was hearing from afar. Afar means here. Afar means here from distance. From distance. It was melodious voice. So here, gay notes means melody. So as we hear the such melody in the time of the spring season from the nightingale, and that is the pleasant atmosphere. So when it was happening, and the nature was having its own beauty, and nature has the capacity to make everyone to feel spellbound. So that is the secret of the nature. Next stanza. The student, I hope you have understood this stanza. I will read the next stanza. Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of the rampart. Was that woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? So here, as usual, the monk follows the same way after a year. He comes to the place and he stands. Suddenly there was a woman, the young-aged woman. She comes and she greets to his feet. The woman who was boycotted or exiled by that village. She came to him and she greets him, where both of them that day met at the same place. The monk comes and stands, the old lady, that young lady comes and greets him. Rampart means that is the biggest wall of the port. I will read the next stanza. Struck with the black pestilence, her body spotted with the source of smallpox, she had hurriedly removed from the tomb to avoid her poisonous contagion. Dear students, that the clear picture of that situation is given here. The young lady who was having the enchanted beauty, she was respected and loved by all. But when she was affected by the contagious disease, that was the smallpox, the source of smallpox. When she had this rare disease, she was rejected and she was hated by all. That is showed here. That is the black pestilence. The black pestilence are covered on her body. When she had that disease, and at the time she was rejected or refused by the people. Once she was loved and admired by the people. At the same time, when she had the disease, that society rejected her, blamed her, they refused her. That's why she was exiled from the town. She was removed from the town to avoid her poisonous contagion. Contagion means a disease which spreads a person to another person is called as contagious or contagion. Dear student, I hope you are understanding. That is the exact picture is showed here. the lady who was affected by smallpox, and there are the black pestilence on her body. She is getting a lot of pain, but no one is able to understand her pain. The people will only understand our joys, but they can't understand the depth of sorrow. In the next stanza, the ascetic sat by her side, took her head on his knees, and moistened her lips with water, and smeared her body with a sandal balm. Who are you, merciful one? Asked the woman. The time at last has come to visit you, and I am here, replied the young ascetic. So, the last stanza of this poem gives the beautiful description. So, when here, the young ascetic sat by her side. He sat by her side and he took her head on his lap as he considered her as if her own daughter. He takes her head on his lap and he moistened her lips. No one could give her water. Her lips were dry. She was feeling frequent thirst, but no one could give her water. That's why he understood her feeling, and he moistened. Moisten means he made wet. He just poured water to her mouth and smeared her body with the sandal balm. Smeared means slowly he applied sandal balm on her body. That is shown here. He used the words either, and he applies the sandal balm on her body, because all the back pestilences got severe. She was getting a lot of pain. If he touches the back pestilences, then she may get pain. So he uses the word fever and he applies the sandal balm on her body. When he took a lot of care and affection at that lady asks, "Who are you? Merciful one," asked the woman. He says that the time at last has come to visit you. I am here, replied the young ascetic. What the promise he had given in the past. He says that the time has come to visit you, the young lady. That's why I am with you. Dear students, I hope you have understood the explanation of this beautiful poem and learn. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.